Hi, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm in the Light 527 program at WKU and have been tasked with creating a PD opportunity. Today, we're going to discuss literacy and literature based learning activities that can be incorporated in the classroom and library. Literacy is more than just reading and writing. The National Assessment of Adult Literacy defines literacy as the ability to use printed and written information to function in society, to achieve one's goals, and to develop one's knowledge and potential. In many ways, literacy has developed over time and now supports the 21st century learning skills, where students inquire, think critically, gain knowledge, draw conclusions, make informed decisions, share knowledge, and pursue personal growth. One way to achieve literacy is by using literature based instruction in the library. Literature based instruction, also known as LBI, involves teaching reading by reading literature. With LBI, students learn to analyze texts and develop literacy skills. With LBI, the teacher and librarian have specific roles as a mentor and a coach by planning and overseeing activities that allow students to fully immerse with the literature. Bond states that we have to question our motives for teaching literature. Is the overarching idea to help teens become lifelong learners? If so, what would be the best means of achieving this goal? If we're interested in teens learning basic storylines and becoming familiar with the classics, then the works of Shakespeare, Poe, and Dickens will do for college preparedness. But if we are interested in developing lifelong readers, there are many beautifully written young adult novels that engage readers in critical thought. For example, Bond states that the following benefits have been associated with young adult literature. It can connect young people with the idea of reading for pleasure, helps develop the imagination, involves narratives that reflect the way young people communicate, provides new perspectives, reveals insight into the human condition, enhances reading and writing skills, builds vocabulary, enhances grammar, introduces facts and cultural knowledge, and helps develop understanding with story structures and conventions. The reading preferences for two sixth grade students might be very different, and the differences between a sixth grade student and an eighth grade student are even more different. Different readers might get interested in a book based on the topic, cover, word of mouth, and so on. Having a choice in at least some of what they read is critical when using literature based instruction because students need to encounter books that are relevant to them to make the reading be truly for pleasure. The following are real examples of literature based learning activities and practices that can be used in your classroom or library. We're going to talk about book talks, literature circles, STEM integration, and independent reading. Book talks. Many educators have found that book talks will not only guide students to quality literature, but will actually hook them in the story and get them excited about reading. A book talk typically involves a short presentation, which can be print or digital, about the book with the goal of convincing others to read it without giving away too many details. Usually, the book talk includes one passage. An effective book talk should be no more than 5 minutes. The Pikes Peak Library Teen Department says that if a book doesn't call to you, don't book talk it. If it does, do. The most important aspect of creating an effective book talk is the book talker's connection with and enthusiasm about the book. During creation of a book talk, embrace your mistakes. Beware of pace, timing, inflection, expressions, and tone, and vary them as needed. If a book talk idea comes to you while you're reading, stop and write it down. Focus on all genres. Listen to other book talkers to get ideas and new techniques. Do some book talks comedic and some serious. Switch it up. Literature circles. In lit circles, small groups of students gather together to discuss a book of their choice in depth. Lit circles provide a way for students to engage in critical thinking and reflection as they read, discuss, and respond to books. During book circles, educators facilitate response to literature activities that demonstrate and deepen a student's understanding of what they are reading. Some response to reading activities that librarians and teachers can incorporate into their program will be discussed in further detail. Here are some activities that I'm going to touch base on: text-based drawings, author tombstones, mind maps, literary postcards, personal crests, theme collages, collaborative poetry, and tweets. With text-based drawings, students draw a picture and label it based on details from the text. This often goes along with close readings of a text where you focus on a specific character. With author tombstones, students fill out descriptions on a tombstone of an author, character, or a historical figure. This can be used as an extension activity to assess students' knowledge. When doing mind maps, turn a blank piece of paper sideways. Start in the center with an image that represents your topic. Draw a branch stemming out from the center for each of the main ideas connected to the topic. On each branch, write a word or phrase that captures the main idea. Add additional images to each idea. When working with nonfiction, a mind map can be used to summarize main ideas and supporting details. It can also be used to compare information from multiple texts. When working with fiction, a mind map can be used to focus on the setting, characters, or central conflict. Literary postcards reinforce the ideas of character and point of view in a novel or short story. Students depict a scene from the literature on the front and then add something from the character on the back. Personal crests are similar to a coat of arms. Students create a crest for a character in a novel or short story. Students choose symbols and colors that represent the character and then write a short paragraph explaining their selections. With a theme collage, students create a collage of texts and images to represent a novel's theme or message. With collaborative poetry, students will first write individually from a character's perspective and then work together to create a collaborative poem. To complete this activity, students pick a character from a story and respond to a generic prompt. Students complete free-form writing about the character. Once they've completed their individual writing, they will be sorted into groups based on the character they chose. From there, they cut apart the lines of their poem to incorporate the lines together with the rest of the groups. When tweeting, ask your students to share their thoughts about their reading by sharing a tweet in 30 words or less. Sample prompts include, "What are you wondering about your book right now?" Or, "How has one of the characters changed since you started reading?" Make sure to ask your students to include hashtags. Integration of literature with STEM classes. Science classes are most effective when they are integrated with other subject areas, such as reading, writing, or math. This includes reading textbooks, newspapers, magazines, online articles, and nonfiction and fictional literature. One way that you can add literacy to STEM activities is by using a children's book to accompany an engineering activity, or by reading a picture book to accompany a scientific concept. Another way to add literacy is to create a book. You illustrate and you write everything about a research topic. Independent reading. Students need at least 15 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted reading opportunities. Independent reading improves comprehension for students and helps develop vocabulary and improves fluency. It has also been proven to increase reading achievement, increase engagement and motivation, and develop lifelong readers. Some ways that educators can support independent reading are by modeling the appropriate behavior. While students are reading, the teacher or the librarian should be reading also. Other ways to encourage students to read for pleasure and facilitate an independent reading culture in your school are to host after school book clubs, collaborate with your local public library, or reenact favorite books. Collaborating with the local library is beneficial because most public libraries offer a lot of summer reading programs for students. This helps fight summer reading regression. Adopting a literature based reading program in your school has been proven to benefit a diverse population of students. The curriculum can facilitate the learning of special needs students and gifted alike. Reading is the path to knowledge, and literature based reading instruction can help students get there.